I still remember that moment as if time had suddenly stuttered. I was huddled in a shadowed corner of an alleyway off the beaten track, the air thick with the scent of motor oil and rain-soaked concrete. The deep, throaty rumble of engines echoed off the brick walls like the growl of some mythical beast awakened from a long slumber. And there, emerging from the interplay of light and darkness, was none other than Jamie Foxx, an icon known for his wit and charm, now standing face to face with a marauding pack of bikers. In that electric 15 seconds, everything shifted. The ambient hum of the night, the distant murmurs of the city, and even my own heartbeat seemed to synchronize with the cadence of impending chaos. I couldn't tear my eyes away as Jamie's steady gaze met the intimidating eyes of the bikers. They believed they had cornered him, that he was a sitting duck in this gritty underworld. But there was something in his quiet poise, an almost imperceptible glimmer of defiance, that whispered a secret. Jamie had a plan. And trust me, this wasn't the typical Hollywood stunt or a spur-of-the-moment reaction. It was a premeditated maneuver, a masterstroke that would soon reverberate far beyond that darkened alley. As I watched, every nerve in my body tingled with anticipation. I knew in that charged moment that something extraordinary was unfolding. Something that would redefine the limits of celebrity coolness and, for me, rewrite the rules of confrontation. Thank you, my viewers, most especially my subscribers, for your support as we keep improving and bringing daily inspiring stories that could spark positive change in our lives and society. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Before we continue the story, please comment which city you're watching from, so we can send you a thank you gift. Enjoy the story. Let me take you back to that unforgettable night. It was a balmy evening in downtown Los Angeles, a city where every corner pulses with energy and secrets hide behind the glimmer of neon lights. I was at an exclusive invite-only club, a place where the elite mingled, where Hollywood's brightest shone even brighter against a backdrop of velvet and jazz. I had always admired the understated brilliance of Jamie Foxx, his effortless charm, his ability to defy expectations with a mere smile. That night, he was in his element, savoring a well-aged bourbon, laughing with a circle of A-listers, and exuding an air of relaxed confidence that seemed almost tangible. But then, as if ripped from the pages of a thriller, the atmosphere began to shift. A rumble at the door, a murmur that grew louder, and suddenly, a gang of bikers rolled in like a dark tide. Their leather jackets and iron-studded boots were a stark contrast to the opulence inside. I could see the tension in the room escalate as whispers spread like wildfire. Someone had crossed a line, and the repercussions were arriving on roaring wheels. Rumors swirled that Jamie had unknowingly disrespected someone important. Something as trivial as a borrowed car had ignited this powder keg of bruised egos and lingering grudges. I sensed that this was more than just a random act of violence. There was an undercurrent of corporate maneuvering and hidden agendas at play. In the midst of Hollywood glamour and high-stakes business deals, personal affronts could cascade into epic showdowns. And as I watched Jamie's face transition from amusement to a knowing calm, I realized that this was no ordinary brawl. It was a clash of worlds, a collision between the glitzy realm of celebrity and the raw, unfiltered underbelly of street justice. Before I could even process what was happening, the scene shifted in an instant. One moment, Jamie was surrounded by a motley crew of hardened bikers, and the next, the air itself seemed to thicken with tension and the acrid scent of gasoline. I found myself stepping closer, heart pounding as I observed the unfolding drama with a mixture of disbelief and anticipation. Out of the throng emerged one biker in particular, a hulking figure, a man whose very presence seemed designed to intimidate. His arms were like coiled steel, his eyes dark and merciless, and with a deliberate slowness he cracked his knuckles. In that moment, his unspoken challenge echoed in my mind, "We got a problem, Fox?" It was as if the universe had paused, and all the collective breaths of those watching were held captive by the gravity of his silent demand. Now, most people in that situation would have frozen, their survival instincts screaming for retreat or a frantic call to security. But not Jamie. He didn't flinch. Instead, with an almost imperceptible smirk and a measured adjustment of his jacket, he unleashed a line, a remark so cool and calculated that it momentarily silenced even the roaring engines outside. "Man, I was hoping for a quiet night, but if we gotta do this, let's make it interesting." I remember thinking, this is not just a defiant retort, it's a statement of intent. The words carried the weight of experience and the subtle promise of an intricate plan unfolding beneath that calm exterior. In that charged pause, as onlookers fumbled for their phones and whispered in awe, the biker gang hesitated. Their hardened expressions wavered, caught off guard by a celebrity who was now, quite literally, flipping the script. I could feel the air quiver with anticipation. The narrative had taken an unexpected twist, and every second promised to unravel a tapestry of secrets, power plays, and a showdown that transcended mere physical confrontation. Deep in my gut, I knew that this was only the beginning, and that the stakes were about to skyrocket in a way that none of us had ever imagined. As the seconds ticked by, the tension in that shadowy space became almost palpable, a living, breathing entity that pulsed with each heartbeat. I watched intently as the largest of the bikers stepped forward, his presence commanding and his voice dripping with bravado. His every move was a declaration, a proclamation of dominance. Yet, there was an undeniable irony in the scene. Here he was, a man built for aggression, but his force met an immovable calm. Jamie stood his ground, his eyes reflecting not fear but a steely resolve. I couldn't help but marvel at the contrast. While the world around him buzzed with the energy of impending violence, he exuded a quiet confidence, the kind that can only come from years of mastering not just the physical, but the psychological art of confrontation. I recall thinking to myself, how does he do it? What hidden strength fuels that unshakable calm? In that fleeting moment, the layers of Jamie's persona revealed themselves to me. Beyond the charm and humor known to the public, there was a meticulously honed skill set, years of training in boxing, jiu-jitsu, and perhaps even lessons from the gritty world of corporate espionage. Yes, I dared to think that beneath the glitz and glamour of his celebrity veneer lay a mind well versed in the strategies of power plays and secret alliances. It wasn't merely about physical prowess, it was about timing, precision, and the art of calculated risk. Then, as if on cue, the unexpected happened. From the periphery of the gathering, I noticed a familiar figure emerging, a silent ally, someone whose presence was as unexpected as it was reassuring. One of Jamie's trusted associates, a figure whose loyalty and competence had been whispered about in elite circles for years, now made his way into the fray. The sight of him added an entirely new dimension to the unfolding drama. It wasn't just a street brawl, it was a carefully choreographed display of strategy and counter-strategy, reminiscent of high-stakes boardroom battles where every move carried a hidden agenda. And then, with a twist that sent shockwaves through the gathered crowd, Jamie began to verbally dismantle his challengers. His words, laced with biting humor and razor-sharp wit, began to peel away the bravado of the bikers. He mocked their outdated leather vests and the mismatched tattoos that screamed of a bygone era. When he casually referred to their leader as Wish.com Vin Diesel, the silence that followed was more powerful than any roar of engines or shouted threats. In that moment, I understood that this was not a simple confrontation. It was a masterclass in turning a potentially volatile situation into an arena for psychological warfare. The atmosphere was electric, each heartbeat resonating with the promise of an imminent showdown, while beneath it all, an intricate dance of corporate intrigue and personal vendettas played out in the shadows. Just when the tension reached its zenith, when it seemed that the situation might finally tip into chaos, Jamie executed a move that defied every expectation. I still can't shake the image of him standing there, his face an enigmatic mask of calm, as he raised his hand and, with a deliberate, almost nonchalant gesture, whistled. The sound, soft yet piercing, cut through the tension like a scalpel through silk. In that heartbeat of sound, something extraordinary happened. From the darkened edges of the scene, as if summoned by magic or an unspoken pact, a fleet of custom choppers emerged. They were matte black, their engines revving in unison, a symphony of raw power and precision. I found myself holding my breath, caught between disbelief and awe, as I realized that Jamie Foxx wasn't alone in his stand. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment act of defiance, It was a meticulously orchestrated power move, the culmination of countless hours spent building alliances, training in secret, and navigating the murky waters of corporate and personal rivalries. In that charged moment, as the biker gang's earlier confidence gave way to uncertainty and nervous glances, I felt the air shift. The once intimidating figures now seemed diminished, their bravado replaced by a dawning realization that they were outmatched on every level. Jamie leaned casually against one of the newly arrived choppers, his posture relaxed, yet every inch of him radiated authority. "Now, fellas, we still got a problem, or y'all wanna grab a drink and talk about this like adults?" His words, delivered with a cool detachment, rippled through the gathered crowd. The gang leader, his face tightening in a mix of fury and disbelief, took a step back. I remember the silence that followed. A silence that spoke volumes about the shifting balance of power. The intricate web of corporate intrigue and street-level bravado had tilted decisively in favor of the underdog, the man who had turned a potential nightmare into a masterstroke of strategic brilliance. In that moment, I couldn't help but marvel at the sheer audacity of it all. Here was Jamie Foxx, a man who had not only survived the onslaught of a biker gang but had done so by turning the tables completely. A move that was as much about sending a message to the world of corporate power plays as it was about personal resilience. As the dust settled and the rumble of engines faded into the night, the true magnitude of what had just transpired began to sink in. I spent the rest of that evening in a state of stunned reflection, replaying every moment in my mind as if trying to capture the elusive essence of that legendary encounter. The following day, as the first light of dawn crept over Los Angeles, the story exploded. TMZ headlines, Twitter threads, and meme pages buzzed with talk of the night Jamie Foxx turned an imminent brawl into a demonstration of sheer, unyielding power. It wasn't just about the physical confrontation, it was about sending a message that in the world of high stakes, whether in corporate boardrooms or on darkened city streets, true strength isn't measured by brute force alone but by the intelligence and calm that guide every decision. I found myself reflecting on the layers beneath the public spectacle. Jamie's defiant calm, his meticulously honed strategy, and his ability to forge alliances with seemingly ordinary yet extraordinarily loyal individuals revealed a side of him that few had ever glimpsed. Beneath the glitzy exterior of celebrity lay a warrior tempered by the relentless pressures of both fame and the cutthroat world of corporate intrigue. I recalled the countless whispers of boardroom betrayals, secret deals, and power plays that often remained hidden from the public eye. That night, the collision of these worlds became glaringly obvious. Jamie wasn't just a movie star or a comedian. He was a master strategist, a man who had learned to navigate the treacherous intersection of art, business, and personal honor. And in doing so, he had given the biker gang, and by extension, anyone who underestimated him, a lesson in power that would be remembered for years to come. I couldn't help but feel a surge of admiration, tempered by a profound understanding of the sacrifices and calculated risks that lay behind every triumphant moment. The world of celebrity is as much about behind-the-scenes maneuvering as it is about the glitz of red carpets and blockbuster films. In that quiet aftermath, I realized that the night was more than just a headline or a viral video. It was a testament to the idea that in the face of overwhelming odds, the strength of one's character and the clarity of one's strategy can transform even the most daunting challenges into opportunities for remarkable comebacks. Jamie's cool, almost imperceptible smile as he surveyed the scene served as a silent proclamation. That power, true power, is not measured by the size of one's adversary, but by the depth of one's resolve. As I stand here, still haunted by the electrifying echoes of that night, I can't help but wonder, what would you have done if you were in Jamie's shoes? Would you have met danger with a calm, calculated defiance, or would you have succumbed to the chaos? In the reflective quiet that followed the showdown, every detail of that encounter resonated with lessons about loyalty, strategy, and the raw power of self-belief. I invite you, my friend, to dive deep into your own reflections. Consider the many battles we all face, whether in the corporate arena, in personal conflicts, or in the unexpected challenges that life throws our way. Sometimes, the most remarkable victories aren't the ones that involve a show of sheer force, but the ones where we outthink our adversaries and transform our vulnerabilities into our greatest strengths. As you mull over this wild and surreal night, I ask you, would you have handled it like Jamie? If this story stirred something within you, a spark of inspiration or even a moment of incredulity, share your thoughts. Let's discuss the power of staying cool under fire and the art of turning the tables when the odds are stacked against you. And if you're hungry for more tales of high-stakes drama, secret alliances, and the behind-the-scenes intricacies of celebrity life, then stay tuned. There are more stories waiting to be told, more lessons yet to be learned. Thank you for joining me on this unforgettable journey. Your support and curiosity keep the spirit of these stories alive, fueling a community where we explore the untold narratives that shape our world. Subscribe, comment, and share your thoughts. Because in a world where every moment holds the promise of a hidden twist, your voice is an essential part of the conversation. And remember, this isn't the end. It's just the beginning of an even wilder ride into the unknown. Would you have handled it like Jamie? Let me know, and until next time, keep questioning, keep challenging, and always stay ready for the unexpected. In recounting that surreal night, I was not just an observer, but a participant in a story that blurred the lines between celebrity, corporate intrigue, and raw human resolve. Every detail, every whisper of strategy, and every flash of defiance left an indelible mark on my soul, one that I carry with me as a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary acts of courage are born not from violence, but from the quiet power of a measured mind.